I have a problem with logos nowadays because I feel that they're too good. So, in today's video, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to redesign luxury logos to look cheap. How am I going to do it? I'm going to make them too complex, so overloaded with detail, with poor scalability so that when you shrink them or enlarge them, they lose their shape and are unrecognizable. And then I'm also going to mix visual styles so there is no harmony. And there are a few other rules which I'm going to use to make these logos look as cheap as they possibly can. But you're going to see the other three in a bit. So I'm going to start with this logo, which is the Rolex logo. I'm giving it a nice little bevel effect, which is really overused sometimes in cheap logos, so I feel that's going to be really useful in making it look as cheap as it can. I'm gonna edit the filter a bit, play around, because this is a new feature of Inkscape I'm using. I'm also doing this with $0 of budget, right? And I finally had what I needed with this effect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the letters a bit squashed, and now I'm gonna remove one of these orbs from the crown because I want to replace it with a really generic shape, right? And now the other three rules that I'm gonna try to abide to today is using weak typography with bad fonts, color issues, bad contrasts, and clashing colors which don't look well together, and also an overuse of shapes, so relying on overused shapes. And I'm going to show you what I mean with this in just a bit. Let me draw the diamond first. It's just a really generic shape which I really often see in logos. It's really overused, and that's not good because it gives the logo no personality at all whatsoever, because the diamond means so many different things that it can't just be related to one specific logo. And other shapes like circles, squares, triangles, relying on them for the main part of your logo is a really bad idea. So that is exactly what I'm doing today with these luxury logos, which I'm gonna make cheap. So there we go. There's a diamond. It has so many connotations. It doesn't mean a single thing. You can relate it to plays, you can relate it to wealth, you can relate it to hardness. It just means so many different things that I think it's a really bad shape to use. So I'm going to replace one of the orbs on the Rolex crown with a diamond, which will make the crown look even cheaper because it's not uniform and there's just random diamond shapes sticking out in the middle, which is terrible. I really don't like the look of this. And Rolex, if you're watching this, or someone from Rolex, I do not recommend buying this logo. I'm making it only for entertainment purposes. This is not an official logo which I recommend you to use. But there we go, it's taking shape. Let's try. That's just not really good with red, but I want to add some color. Let us add some clashing colors, guys. Let's see what we're gonna make. I'm gonna use a gradient. I think I'm gonna make it red to yellow. There we go. That is nice. Now, what I want to do is I want to move the crown towards the letters. So I'm gonna make it sort of cut into the rectangle shape in the background. So I'm gonna use Control 0 to enlarge this shape and offset it. And then I'm gonna enlarge it, and then we're gonna cut it away from the rectangle in the back. And we have this crown standing on top of the letters now. Some shiny highlights, obviously very cheap in logos. But they're just really generic thing which I do not recommend adding to your logo. And also another thing we saw earlier on the rules of logo design, which you should never abide to. So the cheap rules was an overcomplicated design, so I'm gonna try to overcomplicate this design as much as possible. We're gonna add some diamonds, move them further down. There we go. I like this. Now we're gonna add this really cheesy touch to the O, just add a bit of tilt to make this logo seem even more generic, if that is possible. Unveiling the new Rolex logo, neat logo in its style, which is a redesign of the modern version with a new crown featuring a diamond and a red to yellow gradient at the back. See how clean the old one looks? See how beautiful the new one looks and vibrant it seems with those gradients and highlights. The next logo we're going to trash, guys, is the Hugo Boss logo, and I see a problem with this in that the letters are not aligned, so the big boss sign is not aligned to the letters underneath, to the S and the H, which to me already looks kind of cheap. Sorry to Hugo Boss. I saw this on a lot of logos, and this is not the original version because it's an SVG, but I feel like that's a genuine problem with the Hugo Boss logo. I don't know if that was the effect they were going for, maybe, but you're gonna see later the way I redesign it makes it look really, really cheap. Because at the moment it does look quite expensive, but the way I'm gonna redesign it after I cut it up, this is really painful to do in Inkscape. You gotta select each letter individually, but now I'm gonna do some flipping. Yeah, I don't like this. Yeah, we're not gonna flip, but we're gonna cut off the serif elements of the letters, so we're gonna end up with some really bad letters. And what I want to do is I want to make the two S's different, so at the end of this you're gonna see how ridiculously ununiform this logo is. And right now it's starting to take shape as a really unstandardized logo, because there's no one standard letter, it's just all different, which is a really bad idea in logo design. Again, I don't recommend this, and I would never recommend this logo to Boss. I'm just trying to make these logos look as bad as possible. I don't know if it's even cheap anymore. I think it's just making them look really, really terrible, just trashing the logos, which I think I'm doing pretty well at. I'm doing pretty well at. The Rolex one was quite something in terms of trashing a logo. So what I want to do with this perfume is I want to cut the B into it, and then I'm going to cut it into the O to add this really cheesy perfume inside the O, which I think is an effect which can work well, but it really doesn't work well in this case, especially with the B in the middle. It's just such a cheesy touch. Cheesy touch. That reminds me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pick the worst colors in the world for this. And not the worst colors, actually. Orange is my favorite color. Orange is a really good color. But mixed with purple, that is a terrible combo, to be honest. Even though yellow and purple go hand in hand, orange and purple are just not a good mix. I don't know what you think. Drop me a comment. Although I feel like it can work quite well, but just for a logo it's too colorful. It's too bad. I'm gonna make the letters of Hugo Boss a bit thicker underneath, and I think we're nearly finished with this. Add a little tilt. Introducing the new Boss logo. Why wear a generic white t-shirt when you can wear the new Hugo Boss Ultra improved t-shirt design, which everyone on the train is gonna notice you with, as it is way better, guys. I mean, 100% much cleaner, much more tidy, just incredible in every form. The next logo we're gonna absolutely trash is the Gucci logo. Now, I don't buy luxury stuff, so I'm not a big user of any of these brands, but we're just gonna mess with the logos today. So I don't actually know a lot about Gucci. If you're a Gucci person yourself, please do not get offended by this, because I'm telling you, the logo was pretty bad when I finished it. Here I'm realizing that I don't need to split it with both letters. I just need to split one and then just duplicate it, which I don't know what you think about this Gucci logo, guys. I mean, my one looks better at the end. I mean, I did say it's really bad, but it kind of is a lot clearer, because what I did is I just laid the letters side by side, because with the intertwined lettering, I feel like that's a good effect, but it just makes the logo really unclear and you can't tell what's going on. It's just two random letters. It's a G and a G. It's not even a G and a C, which I'm gonna do at the end of this thing. I'm gonna make it incredible. It's even gonna have a face in the logo, which is an incredibly cheesy touch. It is literally the cheesiest thing. Whenever I see a logo with a face, it just cringes me out so badly. But anyway, it's, yeah, really bad. I feel for all the designers which were designing the Boss, the Rolex, and the Gucci logos, because I'm literally trashing them up at the moment. But as you can see, I feel like my logo is a lot clearer than the original Gucci logo, because you can see both letters side by side, right? You've got the little Gucci sign up there. We're gonna bring the letter mark down, and we're just gonna put it above the logo. I feel like not attaching this to the design in any way, like the Hugo Boss logo was, like the Rolex, just having it underneath. But in this case, it's gonna be above. Is what the best solution for this is gonna be. But wait until the end of this design, because I added the most cheesy thing to this. I'm literally doing it right now. This is the worst thing that you can have. A gold frame, guys. A gold frame. I mean, how lame is that? Everyone uses gold, literally. And I feel like companies nowadays are starting to use it a bit less. Old logos all the time, a sign of quality, but now it's just a sign of bad logo, to be honest. And now I made the C into an actual C, because the Gucci designers obviously couldn't be bothered to just remove that extra element of the G. And introducing the new Gucci logo, available in handbags, shoes, perfumes, and every other product on the world which Gucci may produce. I've got no clue, to be honest. This is the new Gucci logo, much better than the old one, with a little face to smile at you when you're doing your shopping, to encourage you to spend more money. A really clever psychological trick, in my view. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you for more design gags on the forum. Stay creative.